Hello and welcome to your favorite nerdy podcast. I'm Steve Bowder. This
I'm
is I upstaged you with your name,
I'm Steve Bowder.
and I'm Alex Frankel.
Hey, and this is Powers of Dragons.
Dragons of Powers.
Steve, a lot happened this week.
Quite so. On both.
A
On
lot.
both.
And I have a theory that you're going to hate.
Oh boy. Okay, I can't wait to hear it. I have many stupid questions for you regarding House of the Dragon.
Halbrand is Sauron.
No, he's not.
He is.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
They're giving us R plus L equals J energy with Halbrand. The fucking forging of the sword, that shot where he goes to meet either Galadriel or the Queen, and all those candles, they're right behind him, and they all look like the eye of Sauron.
Yeah, I saw all that, but I don't.
Cues.
Well, then I'll be disappointed. Simple as that.
Yeah.
If that's the case, I'm saying I will be disappointed in that storyline. So you might be right. I may be crazy, but it just might be a lunatic you're looking for.
Could be. Yeah. This week's episode was really fun, and it had one of the most technically exciting scenes I've seen in anything in a long time. And that was
technically exciting.
Technically exciting, like from a technical perspective, right? Like the fight choreography, the cinematography, the scene where Galadriel is training the Numenor men was fucking amazing. I remember turning to Kelly and I was like, this is stunning. Like, it was unbelievable. That was the best sequence they've had in the show so far.
I am amazed and know not what to say, because
you hated that
the least favorite part of the episode.
Really?
I thought they could have handled that so much better.
Huh.
I thought they could have handled it a lot better. And this is no judgment on Morfydd Clark's acting, honestly. I am trying so hard to stick up for Galadriel, stick up for Morfydd Clark's performance. And that didn't help me, because
really?
It's what we needed. We needed to see her ability, her superior abilities of warfare and skill and swordplay and all that. We definitely did. And it's not even that what she was saying. They needed to show her superior skill with swordplay. They needed to show her ability that was so much better than the rest of the army. She needed to be undefeatable, and she needed to earn her stripes among the soldiers that were accompanying her. Absolutely. There's something about the fight choreography that just didn't sit well with me. There was too much how do I describe it? I know that Galadriel is more skilled than everybody there. Mm-hmm. I know that no one could defeat her in a sword fight there. Possibly only Elendil, or she's too knowledgeable, she's too skilled. She's also too cuckoo for vengeance right now. So like, I understand that she is far superior, therefore she will fight in a superior way that's measured and efficient. There was something about it, though, that too many camera cuts. That's what it was. Too many camera cuts. And it didn't give me enough time to see each move land. From the time that she executed her evasive tactic to like whatever, too many cuts in between movements and choreography moments. And it made it seem like they were spoon feeding it to us. Like, see, she's really good at fighting. She's really smooth. She keeps her cool. She doesn't lose her temper. She doesn't give in to, violent, carnal, bloodlusting urges. like us men. She is in, balanced and calm and responsive, and she certainly has the authority to talk about fighting, how to fight orcs. She certainly has the authority to talk about proper swordplay and so on. I don't dispute her knowledge of this. I dispute the way that it was conveyed through I don't know if it was the direction or the editors.
All right, I'll challenge you there because I didn't get a chance to watch it again this morning. I seem to remember it. There were a decent amount of cuts, but it also had the feel of a continuous. I think the fight choreography was fucking awesome because it definitely established like her untouchable nature in a way where like all these dudes are so confident coming at her, and she is just dispatching them with ease with no sense of effort whatsoever. I also thought that Halbrand coming out to observe at the end was quite interesting as well because he's Sauron, and he's sizing up.
Not Sauron. I thought it was interesting. Also, not. He's not Sauron. He's not.
Okay.
But if he is, I will be disappointed.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that I could see how you would be disappointed as a diehard Tolkien fan, but me as a casual viewer, like they've set it up nicely where it could go either way. He's probably not, but we'll see. I don't think we'll meet Sauron this season, even maybe for a brief second in the final episode. But
I think I know where Sauron is.
Oh, do you?
I think Sauron is in Eregion, where Celebrimbor is. And I think that's what's going on with Celebrimbor. I think Celebrimbor is talking to this messenger from the Valar named Anatar, who is telling him you need the Mithril, which is revealed in this episode why Elrond was sent there in the first place. And it is all a web of lies and deception being fed to Celebrimbor and Gil-galad through Anatar, and they're not hip to it yet. That's what I think, because that's all going to be the undoing of everybody. Because Doom keeps they needed to, and this is something I wanted to talk about. They needed to give the elves a reason to have the Mithril. They needed it to be a matter of life or death for them, and the Mithril, they needed to be a source of sustenance somehow for the Eldar, for the elves. What they did was they kind of invented this backstory with Mithril, I think, where there is a tree that all the elves put all the light that they had from the original tree in Valinor that we got a glimpse of at the episode 1. They took it all and they put what they could into this tree, as only the elves can. And then they defended it. You saw the episode. Then they defended it, and then the clash and the whatever. Right. The light, but they said it was the light of the Silmaril in the episode. And it's like, that's kind of not how that works. So there was some misunderstandings or some hard to justify so far hard to justify. Maybe they'll justify it on the next episode, but it didn't quite make sense to me. So I think Sauron is the one sowing lies.
I mean, that would make a lot of sense.
I think Sauron has got it in their heads that you need this Mithril to live.
Right.
Going to get the elves to employ the dwarves, and that's when the dwarves are going to delve too deep and too greedily, and it's all going to be a tragic chain reaction of events. That's what I think. I hope that Sauron.
Very good story building, if that was indeed what happened.
Another thing is, you might be right in that this multiple storyline thing, where if we realize that if we learn that there's different timelines, which I'm feeling less certain about because Galadriel is going to save the Southlands, going to Middle Earth to save the Southlands from the orcs. So that's happening now with Galadriel, and Galadriel is happening at the same time as Gil-galad and Elrond, because he sent her away on that boat, and then she got shipwrecked, and that's how she got to Numenor. So it's not multiple timelines.
Okay.
So never mind. I was going to say, if it's multiple timelines, then maybe Sauron was in Eregion as Anatar that we're going to meet, or, and then he's like Halbrand. But if they make him Sauron, I'm going to be like, well, that's just a missed opportunity, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I like the idea of Sauron, organizing the demise of both the dwarves and the elves.
Yeah, that would be. I think that's a good move for the show too,
Yeah, that would
because
be
that's not exactly how it happened, but it'd be a fun way to tell it for the sake of the show.
the scene between Durin and Elrond was fucking great.
Owen Arthur
Yeah,
is incredible.
yeah,
He is so inspired. He's so fully like Durin. He's like red-blooded Durin. Like he's just is so breathed so much life into this character, and I believe
best
it.
costume and the best makeup.
Yeah.
He is the like because that really does make a difference for an actor too. Like when you really put the costume on and you get that like full change, like he is so far from himself as Durin, and he embodies that so perfectly. Like of all of the great casting choices on the show, he is top three for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. He had an incredible entrance in the second episode. Um, and yeah, yeah. That scene between the two of them and how they explained it, and then how he, you know, I like that he had that he was like you could tell that he was he was so shocked that Elrond like told him a bold-faced lie, like, and you could like it's amazing, like how are you gonna get past that from
Mm-hmm.
Elrond's perspective? How am I going to like win my friend back? Only if I tell him it's to save my life and the
Mm-hmm.
whole life of the elves, and like that of course appeals to Durin's big ego.
You're telling me.
It was nice. They took it in a nice direction, and the actors did it really really well.
Yeah. Yeah, this was actually the first episode where I stopped seeing Robert Arameo as young Ned Stark.
Nice. I
Finally.
knew it was gonna happen.
I mean, again, it was at no fault of his own. Like he was great in both roles, but like,
I know,
yeah,
I get it, I get it.
yeah,
Um, so that's yeah, that's what I think about. I mean, and then also what's developing between the dwarves and the elves, and we're going to see the. I hope we're going to see the construction of Durin's door, the door of Durin, which is what we saw in Fellowship of the Ring,
mm.
when Gandalf has to come up with the password to get into the mines. We're gonna that's Celebrimbor made that.
Oh, whoa.
So hopefully we're gonna see that, and if we see that, hopefully we're gonna see the origin story of the Watcher in the water,
Oh,
that tentacled monster that reached out for Frodo, and they had to. That's what drove them into the mind.
yes.
The mine, yeah.
Cool.
It's referenced in the opening.
Oh, it is. I didn't catch that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Or in the very, maybe it's only the first episode when it goes from um Valinor to Middle Earth, and
Mm-hmm.
you see the it pans across the map. It says Sundering Seas, and there's that cool serpent, the worm.
Oh,
Showed up
yes.
later. After that, there is just very briefly you see there's a kraken in the water on the map.
Very cool. Okay, I'll go back and watch for that. I have to rewatch this week's episode anyway, because now that we're talking about it, I'm like, okay, there's a lot of details that I want to make sure that I actually saw.
Yeah, it was good. And then there's the whole part with Adar and the men from the Southlands who pledged their allegiance.
Adar and Gilgalad are wearing nearly identical armor. Did you catch that?
No.
Yeah. Which honestly could give credence to your theory about Sauron being Anatar and influencing Celebrimbor. And maybe this has been happening for quite a while.
Matching neck plates.
Yep. And they look pretty familiar too. This comment
Oh,
indicates that
okay.
our corrupted Noldor since Gilgalad was the most Chad of the light dude of all time. Oh my gosh.
Okay, I see it. I don't know about. I have to look up Gilgalad's family and see if that's canon or not. If that, but cool.
Cool. Yeah. What else needs
Really
to
intentional.
this episode? That dumbass trying to blow up the boats in a seal door covering for him.
Yeah, they needed to get Isildur on the boat and win his honor. He
Yeah.
had to earn it, so he saved the day and he earned it. That was fine. They
Yeah.
they really drove home the importance of Isildur's title,
Mm-hmm.
through his father and the tension that creates with his shipmates who have to be there. They have no
Mm-hmm.
choice. And they're working really hard because this is the best possible life they could choose for themselves or their families, given their
Right.
position. I like that. I thought that was great. Now the dude that's Alfarazan's son, I believe, who lit the boat. That was interesting. The tension being built in Numenor is cool. You already can tell that when the Queen Regent returns, it's going to be a different city.
Yeah.
Different, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Great episode.
It was. It was. Like I said, I was a little disappointed with. I didn't know what to make of the whole Light of the Silmarils in Mithril uh, scene with Gil-galad and Elrond. I was like, okay, maybe. I suppose that's kind of new to me too. Like one of those. I didn't really like that, or we'll see about that. Is what I'll say. Is jury's out on what that means.
Got you.
And Galadriel's fight choreography, which you loved.
I loved it. Watch it again. Watch it again.
Okay.
Watch it again. Now we got to talk about House of the Dragon because
Yes.
we had our time jump this week, and holy motherfucking shit, was this episode amazing! That oneer at the beginning of Rhaenyra giving birth to then making her way through court up that giant fucking staircase. Which, thank you, Miguel Sapochnik, for adding that whole scene because it's about time we got a little bit of reality of what living in the Red Keep is like because that building looks like it is as tall as the Empire fucking State Building, and that's a lot of stairs.
I know. I thought the same thing.
Yeah. I'm like, that this is amazing context and just like it's so simple, but it's such great world building. And you can tell that there are obviously more females on the crew of this show because that trail of blood following her after her meeting with the queen. Oh my God. What an incredible detail.
I agree. Uh the I mean, I didn't quite understand. I figured it was a power play. That's why the queen was summoning her.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't quite understand. I guess it became more evident later. The way that she responded to her wasn't clear. I thought she was going to be like evil, but she feigned concern. She feigned like,
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
She's doing that, she's playing the game. She's playing the game well and like somewhat hiding her intentions, even though she's really not. Um, it was interesting the amount of stress Rhaenyra felt when Allison took the baby from her.
Me too.
Yeah, because what she was really doing is one, it was yes a power play, but two, she wanted to see if it was actually Laener's son.
Oh, right.
Obviously not for a number of different reasons, and that whole storyline with Harwin Strong is amazing. I mean, his last line that he said to his bastards before he left was, "The next time I see you, I'll be a stranger," which
That was beautiful.
in the lore of the Faith of the Seven, the stranger represents death. Ooh.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, back up.
Yeah.
What's his name? Big Man Strong?
Strong. Harwin Strong.
Arwen Harwin.
Harwin. Sir
Harwin Strong, right.
Strong.
When did they fall in love?
They didn't necessarily fall in love, but it was when he was the guy in the wedding scene that fought through the crowd and picked up Rhaenyra and threw him over her shoulder.
Oh, that was them. Their tiny little. Here's your exposition.
Yes, and he is the son of the Hand of the King.
Yes.
And then
Still think the actors are too close in age.
Yeah, and then he took Sir Kristen's place as Rhaenyra's booty call.
Got it.
It does seem that they had quite a bit of affection for each other. But
When?
yeah,
Yeah. Oh, did you say? You said it didn't seem like they had.
it did seem.
Well,
But
in this episode, yes, but
yeah,
in previous episodes, no. I was a little thrown, if I'm being honest.
that was one detail kind of left out a little bit with the time jump, but I'm okay with that. Uh,
Okay.
I think that the Laenor Rhaenyra relationship is super interesting because they do care for each other, obviously, but they're not attracted to each other in a sexual or romantic way. But like there is love and connection there, and I really, really liked their interactions and also how he clearly knows about Harwin and doesn't care. Um, and I mean, the time jump, like, weird that Fabian Frankel is still Kristen Cole,
Very.
but I kind of get it. I wish they would have aged him up a little bit. Um, what a little bitch.
You didn't you say he's like the world's first incel?
Yes. Oh my God. The story. It's amazing going from that scene on the ship where he's like, "I love you. Run away from all of this with me. Leave your life behind for me." And she rebukes him, and then he calls her a spoiled cunt in this episode.
And is
Well,
not rebuked by the queen.
what's that?
Is not rebuked by the queen when he
Yeah,
does so.
I know. Um, yeah, the two of them are perfect for each other. The scene where Aegon is jerking off out the window in the same window that Tommen threw himself out of
That's what
after
I
Cersei
thought of. Yeah.
was quite a shot. And
Yeah.
how Alicent did the typical teenage mom move of just barging in without knocking. Always knock. Always knock. Yeah. Yeah, it was a very good episode. It set up the dance really well. I thought the scene where, we finally get to see Vagar, the biggest dragon in the world,
Yeah.
for a brief moment. I wish they would have given us context on how Lena riding Vagar.
I'm confused. I saw the dragon, but nothing clocked in me that it was the largest one I had seen.
So Vagar was one of the three dragons that Aegon the Conqueror conquered Westeros with. Balerion
Uh-huh.
the Black Dread was his dragon. Vagar was his sister's dragon.
Okay.
And the third dragon was Caraxes, I think. But no, I can't remember. Um, but Vagar is the oldest dragon in the world, and they didn't know where it was for a long time. And now all of a sudden she has reappeared, and Lena Valeron is the person riding it and ends up, unaliving herself via dragon, which is one of the best choose your own death adventures I've ever seen. That scene was incredible. Um, uh, yeah, that was
How did
hard to
she get
watch.
so okay, it was incredible. How did she get so far away without Damon stopping her?
I don't think Damon really cared.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. He probably got distracted by something.
But he was being asked. He was being asked, you know,
She ran while he was talking to the Maester.
I get, yeah, I don't know. In any case, yeah, it was very dramatic. And she burned and wasn't fire resistant because why?
The Targaryens are not fire resistant. What happened with Daenerys was a miracle.
Oh,
Targaryens are not fire resistant.
but Viserys was like, "Woohoo! Look at us!" Like with the candles in the first or second episode.
Candles and dragon fire are two very different things.
Not after 5 seconds.
What else happened this episode? We're gonna get a lot of conflict next week.
Okay, great.
Conflict next week. I wonder if we're actually going to see the real dance of dragons this season. We'll probably get a taste of it, but there's about to be a lot of dragons fighting a lot of other dragons in the sky. Uh,
Um,
yeah. Yeah, we're about to get a lot of really crazy shit on this show. I can't wait.
Um, what do you think about the whole resignation of the King's Hand and how
Uh,
the King denied him?
yeah, okay. So the whole story with Rhaenyra's children and the resignation of the hand. Uh, that was, I mean, at that point, there was no denying the fact that Rhaenyra's children are bastards of Sir Harwin Strong, because Harwin basically telegraphed that to all of court. And Viserys is an idiot, so he doesn't, he's willing to let it slide, but he can't see the forest through the trees of how much conflict is fomenting around him as time goes on.
Yeah.
Because he just wants to be, cool, armless, falling apart granddad.
Yeah.
Which, like, we'll talk about Viserys and how much he has deteriorated in a second. Um, but it's very obvious that Rhaenyra is his favorite child, and because of his allegiance to her and the fact that she is his only connection to Emma,
Right. Right.
he gives her so much favor and is completely blind to all of the conflict with his other children and
Mm-hmm.
Alicent. And he just wants everything to be happy go lucky and doesn't want any issues. Unfortunately, the moment he dies, all hell is going to break loose. And Alicent had that whole speech with Aegon, when she caught him jerking off and was like, "You need to understand what is actually going on here and what is actually at stake."
Yeah.
Um, so the hand resigning was his way of trying to protect both himself, his house, and his family, and his son. Because once that's out, they instantly become targets, and like if they
Oh,
get
yeah.
accused of that, they'll get killed, which they were anyway. Um,
Yeah, come on. The sociopathic brother,
so who now owns the queen?
because he got rid of her little problem.
Yep, yep, yep. That was quite the power move. Because there he is playing both sides. That was quite the power move. And Harrenhal is cursed. He is right. But
Say that
man,
again.
Harrenhal is cursed. But whether or not men are the curse or the curse is a curse, we'll see.
What do you mean by Harrenhal is cursed?
Well, so Harrenhal, um, Lord Harren built the biggest castle in Westeros, and the day it was finished, Aegon the Conqueror came with Balerion the Black Dread and burnt the whole thing to the ground and killed everyone inside of it.
Oh,
Yeah. Harren
wow.
has been burnt down like many, many, many times. It's like a recurring thing in Game of.
Uh,
Let's see. Um, Since the burning of Harrenhal by Dragonfire and Aegon's conquest, the castle has become a dark and ruinous place. Harrenhal is also where Arya was when she met Tywin Lannister in season 2 of Game of Thrones, where the mountain was torturing people.
oh yeah.
Um, Sir Jaime Lannister thinks of the castle as Black Heron's folly. Harrenhal is the largest chamber in Westeros, even larger than the Red Keep's throne room. The crown chose it as a location of the Great Council of 101 AC because it did not know how many would attend and wanted a hall for at least 500 lords and their entourages. Da, 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 yeah, very cool.
Very nice, dude. Any predictions? You already said there's going to be lots of conflict.
Yeah, there's going to be lots of conflict in the coming episodes. We're going to see the final break in Rhaenyra and Alicent's relationship. And a lot of people are going to die.
True Game of Thrones fashion.
True Game of Thrones fashion. Yeah, it's about to get real out there real quick. Yeah. All right, Steve. Well, any parting thoughts?
Uh, Halbrand is not Sauron. If he is, I'll be disappointed. The Stranger, I think, is a blue wizard.
Okay.
Uh, I also think he could be evil.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm actually thinking, no, I think he's going to be evil. And
Fun.
I'm going back to my theory of like he might turn into
Sauron.
a Balrog or I don't know.
He
He
might
might
turn
be Kraken. I don't know.
into Sauron.
He might be Sauron. I don't think so.
Interesting. Well, that'll be fun to watch that play out.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I think Sauron's in Eregion
That'd
with
be
Celebrimbor speaking lies, but we'll see next week.
Michelle. All right, buddy. I
Yeah,
love
man.
you.
Thanks for meeting. Love you too.
Ah,
All right. Thanks for listening, everybody.
bye, everyone.
Peace and love.